Welcome along, fellow Dark Magician enthusiasts, to another video. Today's video gonna be a very quick deck profile of my KC Cup deck, because I'll be honest, I was very burnt out. Before we look at the deck itself, if I just go to here, now at the moment it says I have 200 wins, but at the time I got to D level max, I was at 193. And I did get to Legend 1 previously, like before the KC Cup started, so like give or take about 20 duels. I had to win over 160 games to get to max in the KC Cup. It was not a fun grind. Like I was burning out very quick, like having to play so many duels. Like these are the last duels I had. Like look, you got Jaden, you have like while I was in max, you get gems. There was Jaden, you got Lyrilusk, Jaden, Soulburner, Jaden, the Pendulum, the Rebellion OTK, Jaden. I think this is Dragon Maid, and then another Jaden. It's just there's so many heroes and Salamangreat players. It's nuts. I was ranking up from D level 18 to D level 19 so many times, and then just going back from 19 to 18. It was very frustrating, and just but persevered enough to finally make it, and my goodness, I'm so glad I made it. But without further ado, we're gonna get into the deck profile. So this has been optimized as much as possible, and like I've been playing to the best of my ability. I do believe this is probably the best version. Maybe one change would happen, but it's still really good. So you have two Apprentice Illusion Magician. One's for the attack power, the other is for another way to get into DM. One Buster Blader, of course. Then you have your 3 DMs, because you need to see DM as much as possible. One Forbidden Droplet, which is really good for negating monster effects, and it also helps unclog your field. If you don't have any Forbidden Droplets, see if you can possibly get one from the Rainbow Overdrive box. Otherwise, you can use Forbidden Chalice. Yeah, Forbidden Chalice as another option for negating monster effects. But keep in mind, it does have to target. So if there's any monsters that can't be targeted, it's not going to do anything. Forbidden Chalice, though, is still a good alternative, and it's only a super rare. And if I look for Forbidden, here it is. You can get it with box ships, so like you just get easy negation cards. Good stuff. Now one Summoner's Art, like there are times where one's enough. The change I was talking about before, if I wanted to make it, I would put in 2 Summoner's Art and then put in just 1 of Apprentice. So yeah, one's good enough. Helps me get to DM when I need to. Its problem is with Summoner's Art, like you don't want to see it on the top with circle too much, because if you end up seeing like double Summoner's Art on top, then it's like, well, that could have been DM, but oh well. Sometimes that happens. 3 Dark Magical Circle. We need to hit DM as much as possible with Circle. But there's also been so many games where like I've just looked at the top 3, and like DM's nowhere in sight. Circle is also a good card for like letting you check the top 3 cards and seeing how the duel's gonna progress. So like if you got DM, so if you got your field, like getting your field set up ready to go, you activate Circle after you put Buster Blader on the field, and you've got DM in hand, you can see what's coming up. So okay, do I have options to keep the duel delayed and going in case my opponent breaks my board? Or like, do I have more follow-up options later on? it's good. It's really good for that. Really good for like determining whether you're gonna instantly lose a duel, or whether you're gonna instantly win, or whether you're gonna have enough time to stop your opponent if you're facing a really good player or facing a really good deck. It's really, really good. For that, for the knowledge aspect. Like I love knowing, like, I just love knowing whether I'm gonna have a good time, whether I'm gonna have a bad time, or whether I'm gonna be able to hold off my opponent long enough and to secure a win. Knowledge is everything. Knowledge is king. Knowledge is everything. Next up, we have 3 Book of Eclipse. Book of Eclipse is the strongest card in the game right now. And it works so good for Bane of Darkness. Like, your opponent set up a entire field and they're going to battle phase, just Book of Eclipse, flip them all down. And if you're attacking into a field that's like mainly based on monsters, Book of Eclipse, flip everything face down. It's just good, and like it's the one thing I've been relying on, and it's worked so well. Like, you've got an Armed Dragon Thunder level 10 sitting, like, staring at you. Just flip it. Like, just non-targeting, flip it. You've got a field full of Ancient Warriors, non-target, flip it. You got Cyber Dragons, and you want to force out the negate, non-target, flip. You got Dragon Maids with Xiao, negate. You want to bait out the negate, non-target, flip. It's so good. It's just really, really good. It is the best limited 3 card you can use in DM. That's really the most I have to say about that. Yeah, it's really good. 1 Piece in Darkness. We only need 1. You don't want to have multiple bricks. 1 is good. If you got it on your hand and on your field, great. If you don't have access to it, that's fine too. Dark Magic Attack, because dealing with just a single background every turn isn't good enough. Sometimes you're just going to need this and just destroy the entire field. There's been duels where, like, what's happened, I've had this in hand, I've had Buster Blader in hand ready to go, and I had DM, so what I've done, like, I just don't even activate anything else at the start of the duel, just normal summon DM, wait for them to see what they do, and typically, people don't tend to respect DM, because what happens, like, they let it go, they don't activate anything, so I go, okay, activate skill, and then I slap down Dark Magic Attack, and then they start panicking and activating all the back row. It's funny to watch. Typically, if you see someone normal summon DM without doing anything else, they might have Dark Magic Attack in hand. Like, be careful. If you're someone that wants to know how to beat the deck, like, respect the DM. Respect it. That's good stuff. 1 Fusion Recovery. There are times where you might make more than 1 fusion, or where you just need more discard fodder for your negations. Good stuff. Never need more than 1. Like, 1 is really good. The problem is if you have 2, like, it starts turning into, like, you start losing cards. Like, if you're going to make more fusions, you start end up losing hand advantage. And you need that hand advantage. The only time this comes in handy, like, if you want multiple monsters, is when you're able to make the Dark Magicians and Dark Cavalry or Dark Paladin, and then you end up getting a free draw out of it. So yeah. And finally, 3 copies of Eternal Soul. Best recursion, like, you need an option to pair with Dark Magical Circle, like, you just need that. And also, Eternal Soul can be very, very clutch, and, like, when you're about to run out of discards for negations, you can just use Eternal Soul and add Dark Magic Attack to your hand, and then you've just got another free negate for Cavalry or Paladin. So good. Now, before I move on to the extra deck, I did, to my best efforts, try out Illusion Magic. In Bane of Darkness, I was testing it in the Case of Cup, and it's not that good in Bane of Darkness. But that does not mean it's a bad card, because it's really, really good in Battle Chronicle. The problem is, with Bane of Darkness, you're wanting to just get 1 DM onto the field, and then that's it. Like, you've got 1 DM in circulation. Like, yeah, you do want to get all 3 in circulation if you can, but one's good. And the problem is with Bane of Darkness, you're not going to have Apprentice in your hand much. And if you end up having Apprentice in your hand, you're losing card advantage, unfortunately. It's very rare, like, if you'd have Apprentice and Illusion Magic in your hand at the same time. The only way this would be beneficial is if you run 3 Apprentice Illusion Magician and no copies of Summoner's Art whatsoever. But then again, then you can start introducing some problems. And we're not fusion summoning from the hand, like, we have to normal summon DM just to get polymerization. So Illusion Magic can end up backfiring, and if you see Illusion Magic but no DM whatsoever, like, Illusion Magic does nothing if you got no Apprentice Illusion Magician. So in Bane of Darkness, it's bad. In Battle Chronicle, though, it's really good, because mainly you're using Secrets of Dark Magic to fusion summon a lot of the time. So, like, you can just, you can easily put out Apprentice Illusion Magician, Illusion Magic, fusion summon, and then activate skill to +1. So, yeah, in Battle Chronicle, it's really good. Bane of Darkness, it's not that great. So, just wanted to get that out of the way. Yeah, now onto the extra deck. Extra deck is pretty well the same. The Dark Magicians. Now, some people have asked me, like, oh, why don't you run DMG? Why not run DMG since running Dark Magicians? Well, I have explained in the comments before, but I'll explain it here. The problem is with running DMG in Bane of Darkness, it bricks. Like, it's a brick for you. Like, you never want to see it in your hand. If you see it in your hand, like, that could have been DM. And, like, you've got no way to summon DMG out. Unless you tribute summon. Or unless like, the Dark Magicians is blown up, and then it summons out by effect. The problem is you don't want to brick with Bane of Darkness. If you brick, game's over. Like, brick and you got no way to get to DM, like, you lose the duel instantly. You've got no way to win that whatsoever. The Dark Magicians here is really only if we have Fusion Recovery in hand, and it helps establish a board by building into its draw power. And the Dark Magician's draw power is really, really good. That's the only reason we run this card and we don't run DMG. Otherwise, like, if we didn't have any need for draw power, like, I wouldn't run this at all. But it's so good, pairs with Fusion Recovery so well. The draw power is just nuts. And then, like, if your opponent leaves the Dark Magicians unchecked, you can keep building up resources, keep building up hand advantage. Like, if you paired it with Dark Magical Circle, Pierce in the Darkness, Eternal Soul, and you've got Dark Cavalry or Dark Paladin, and the Dark Magicians on field somehow if you're able to build that mega combo, you can just get so much advantage very, very quick. It's nuts. And yeah, if your opponent leaves it unchecked, like, they're gonna end up getting messed over. So yeah, they can't leave this unchecked. So it's an option that, like, baits out removal, baits out the opponent's responses and all that. It's pretty good. Dark Cavalry, of course. You're going up a deck that targets, spit this out. Dark Cavalry is really good and just good for targeting negation, but it's also great for OTKs because of the piercing. Like, your opponent has a bunch of monsters in defense position because of your Book of Eclipse, or because they put them there naturally. Just Dark Cavalry OTK. Really good stuff. And since we're playing a lot of spells and traps, Dark Cavalry's attack is going to be built up very, very quick. Buster Blade, Dragon Destroyer Swordsman. Always use it in your dragon duels. Like, it can be risky because if your opponent has Book of Eclipse, Book of Moon, or they're able to, like, use Forbidden Droplet, Forbidden Chalice on the Buster Blade of Fusion, your strategy's gone out the window. But it's so good, it just turns off Dragon Maid, it turns off Borrowload Link, it turns off Tachyon, it turns off Dragoonity, it turns off so many dragon decks, it's nuts. Yeah, that's really about it. Not much else to say about the Buster Blade of Fusion. Dark Paladin, the GOAT. Spell negation. Clutches against heroes so hard. Like, spit out Dark Paladin, and they have to get rid of it. They can't waste resources on Dark Paladin. It's so good. Like, Dark Paladin just demands the proper response from heroes, and if heroes use the wrong cards, like if they try to fusion summon, like if they try to use polymerization or Neo's fusion before even trying to remove this card, they just get absolutely punished for it. It's great. Doesn't work against Super Poly because Super Poly cannot be responded to by either player. But still, Dark Paladin, so good. Number 11, Big Eye. Very, very clutch. Sometimes the opponent has a single monster, a very big monster. If it can OTK the opponent in a single go, like that monster itself, use it. I've stolen Rainbow Neos before a couple of times, and it's so good. Like, just use Rainbow Neos' effect and get rid of everything else that the hero player has. So it's kind of karma for heroes. Really good. Love Big Eye. It's a good removal option, stealing option. And like it's also good like if you steal an opponent's problematic monsters like Elemental Hero Neos Kluger. Like that's a problematic monster. You steal that, like heroes all of a sudden have to play around that. It's pretty good. Big Eye's great. Ebon Illusion Magician, a good method for OTKing. If the opponent only has one monster on the field, you can just use Buster Blader and DM to make Ebon Illusion, summon another DM, and then attack with the DM to banish the single monster, and then just start smacking them for OTK. Good stuff. Love Ebon Illusion Magician, great card. Nightmare Unicorn, Link 3. I think I recall I had to summon out Nightmare Unicorn once before in a duel. That duel got dragged on pretty well, like for a pretty long time, where I was just, you know, kept summoning DM from the grave over and over. It was nuts. It's good general Link monster. Good removal. Like if you got a whole field that's clogged, you can't really do anything with. Can't really do anything else because you got like Piercing the Darkness, Dark Magical Circle, and Eternal Soul, all in your zones. Like you can just use Nightmare Unicorn just as an option to remove your opponent's cards, or even clear up some back row, since it can target your own cards too. Nightmare Phoenix, good for just good generic Link 2 that gets rid of your opponent's spells and traps. Really good stuff. Yeah, not much else to say about it except that it falls in the same vein as Nightmare Unicorn. And Inductable Chalice Dragon, it's there literally just for the Buster Blade of Fusion. But let me say it again. Imduck is only there for the Buster Blade of Fusion. That's it. But it's still a good Link 1 material for getting like your only DM into the grave so that you can revive with Eternal Soul again. Good stuff. Very good stuff. So that is it for the deck profile. If you do want to keep playing DM, just at the moment, know that you're going to have a very hard time playing DM. It's going to be it's going to be a massive struggle because right now we don't have enough support cards in the game. If I go back, well, like we have support cards, but we can't use them. Like we can't use this, even though I want to. We can't use this, even though I want to. And we can't use this, even though I want to. Like, it's... Konami very annoying. Like, they're releasing cards and releasing skills, but, like, the skills are stopping us from using the cool cards. But, oh well. And we don't really have enough support, to make DM that viable. So, like, going against the meta, the odds are stacked against us. I was burning it a lot in this KC Cup. I expect that others will be too, but I will say it, DM best deck. I love the deck, and I'm going to keep playing it. Even though these odds are stacked against me, I'm going to keep playing it. That's really about it for the profile. No, I'm not going to be doing a meta-analysis for this video because there's an expected ban list coming up soon. I'm guessing probably only a couple of days after the KC Cup, so the meta is going to change drastically. But yeah, we will see what happens, whether the meta is going to be more relaxed to the point where I'm able to cook with Battle Chronicle finally, COG with Battle Chronicle because I'd love to, but really, Bane of Darkness has been my best bet, my best options. It's been working well, but yeah, unfortunately that's how it is. Well, with that being said, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.